You've likely been to one of my websites at some point in the past, Pirillo.com, LockerGnome.com, my conference website, GnomeDex.com, and these are all sites that I've registered and have set up hosting for, and there are two different parts of that particular process. We had someone, I guess a community member at large, ask a question. He submitted it through the iJot widget, which is available at live.pirillo.com if you want to send me a video voicemail.
I was wondering if you could please just explain what is the easiest way to make a website? Maybe not through Pixo or like a MySpace field one, like maybe an actual website. We look like one. Is there any way to make it for free with an online builder?
So, if I understand the question correctly, where could you have your own domain, your own website, not hosted on somebody else's website? And to my knowledge, there's no place to do that for free, or usually if it's free, it comes with some severe limitations. The good news is that even if it's not free, it's relatively affordable to not only register your own website, your own web domain, but also to have it hosted. You can use a variety of resources. One of my sponsors, GoDaddy, we've integrated it within the chat room here at live.pirillo.com. So if you type in !GoDaddy and then a domain name or a website name that you want to register that isn't already registered, it will generate a link automatically that you can click, and that will take you to the shopping cart so that you can buy your own domain name, and then also step you through so that where you can actually have it hosted as well. Now, GoDaddy is just one of the registrars and web hosting services that are out there. There are plenty, and in fact, that's what I was going to toss out to the general community, asking where you go for domain name registration as well as hosting. They're two separate parts. You got to have a domain name. You got to have a website name. Well, one of mine happens to be Pirillo.com. And then I've got that. I own that domain. I purchased that domain, but I had to have a place to put it on the web, so that's where the web host came in. So I've got Pirillo.com hosted on WebAir. Happens to be my web host. We actually bought our own servers because I drive a little bit of traffic more than the average website, so we thought it would be safer to go that route instead of renting or just paying just a few dollars a month to host a website. But most people out there, you should be fine just spending just a few dollars a month once you've registered your website, again for cheap. Actually hosting it shouldn't cost you that much. If you're going to go the free route, you're likely going to be reliant on a service that may or may not be around at some point. Way back when, during the first .com boom, there were a lot of free websites that you could sign up for, and unfortunately those services are no longer in service, and some of those websites no longer exist. So I'm sure the people who registered their own domain names, like myself, are happier that they did, because then they could take that domain name between any web host. And that's what makes the whole environment so competitive. And that's another reason why I asked the general community where they recommend going for domain name registration as well as for web hosting in general. I took another live poll, which is a new ability in the Ustream widget, and I asked people, do you have your own website? Of the people that are live here right now, 60% say they do have their own website, and that would leave 40% saying that they don't have their own website. And I say those are pretty fair numbers. It is affordable to have your own web domain, register that once. It renews either on an annual basis or depending on how much you register it for. It can renew, every other year, yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, the hosting part of it is also very affordable. And some people have their own websites and, in some cases, help other people build their own websites. LaughingSquid.com, I believe, is a good web host. We've worked with Scott in the past. He's a great photographer. He's taken plenty of photos of my conference, GnomeDex. I don't know. This is the fun of it. I don't know of any free service, though, but like I said, you can get away with it relatively cheap and be happy with the results at the end. You're welcome, of course, to stop by the chat room, as I said, to generate a link that will help you register. What is that? Oh, Google.com. That's a new website for me. I've never heard of that one. Huh. All right, well, I guess I'll have to check out that Google. Sounds interesting, that's for sure. Anyway, we'd be happy to have you there. We're there 24 hours a day, even if I'm not. These people certainly are. We have a great sense of humor, and 60% of us have websites. Anyway, we'll see you later.